New tonight, when seconds count, you'd probably do most anything to save someone you love, even if that was a $40,000 bill. And that is exactly what one East Tennessee mom is dealing with after her son was in a bad wreck. 10 News reporter Sean Franklin explains the high price tag for emergency transportation.
And the phone rang, and there was a emergency response person talking to me, telling me that my son had been in an accident.
Michelle Sullivan did what any other mother would have done. She put her son first.
I went into panic mode. What happened? Is he breathing? Is he conscious? Is he awake?
16-year-old Ethan Sullivan had been seriously injured in a wreck in Morristown. A Lifestar helicopter took him to the hospital where he eventually recovered.
When he found the one for the air ambulance bill, I think it broke his heart.
Though Sullivan's medical insurance paid most of the $43,000 bill, it didn't cover all of it. It's a fairly common issue. When we posted a story on the WBIR Facebook page earlier this week, several of you posted your stories of the surprise bills for the life-saving transportation. But there are ways to avoid the sticker shock, like the Air Medcare Network. For $85 a year, it pays all out-of-pocket expenses for medical flights.
We have a highly qualified flight nurse, flight medic, and pilot that are on 24 hours a day. And of course, you think about fuel and all those expenses.
Sarah Gordon works with the network.
Insurance has customary allowable amounts, and that is basically the cap. So they might say, hey, we pay 80%, but it's of that customary allowable amount. That has not been raised in most cases in several years, so it's lower than what the actual cost is now.
Making a membership a way to save you money. Sullivan says she wishes she had known about this membership, but she still would make the same decision.
I wish I had known that there was something I could have done to prevent being responsible for the balance.
Sean Franklin on this story. If you're unclear about your policy, certainly get in touch with your insurance provider to know exactly what your plan covers.